Hey guys, welcome back to Top Dog Tips. This week I want to talk to you guys about how to get dog hair out of carpet. This is a common problem for most pet owners. Pretty much every dog sheds. There are some dogs that don't shed or don't shed as much, so the hair isn't an issue. In our home we have a boxer, a chocolate lab, and a beagle mix. Certainly our chocolate lab, for all of you lab owners out there that are watching this, you understand she sheds more than any dog we've ever had. But our boxer and our beagle shed as well, especially in a multi-dog home or even a multi-pet home. We also have 3 cats, so there is animal hair, animal fur in every nook, cranny, and corner of our house. Most of the time, as you can see, our house, we have hardwood floors in every room or tile, and we've torn out all the carpeting in our house because we have so many animals. And we've always had animals, and we always hope to have animals, so we did away with the carpet because that's how big of a pain it was to clean carpeting all the time when you have pets and animals. So we did away with the carpet, but we have a lot of these throw rugs, and that's the same thing. Everybody has carpeting in at least a couple of rooms in their home, probably the bedrooms, but we have torn it out of our entire house for that reason. Obviously, not everybody has that option, and especially if you are renting or leasing a place, you might not have the option to change the flooring at all. So you need to find a way to get pet hair out of your carpet, in this case dog hair, but all of these tricks work for cat hair as well. So if you're a cat owner or you have multiple pets, don't worry, this will all work for cat hair. So I've learned a few tricks over the years that have worked really well that I am going to share with you today, and they will work on any type of carpeting, whether it's a throw rug like this, whether it's like low pile regular carpeting, or thicker, more plush carpeting. These tips and tricks will all work, some better than others on different types of carpeting, but I will explain that. So if you have throw rugs like this, or you have very low pile carpeting, then one of the easiest things that you can do is get one of those mops with a sponge head instead of like the rope head of a traditional mop. They make mops with a sponge head. You can pick them up at any department store. They're very affordable. You can probably get one for under $10, very cheap. So you want to get a clean mop sponge, and if you currently already have a mop sponge and you use it, all you need to do is just get a replacement. You can buy replacement heads for that. So make sure it's clean though, because if you picked up any dirt or debris or dog hair off your floors while mopping and it's still stuck in that sponge, it's just going to grind it into your carpet. So you want a clean mop sponge, and then a spray bottle with water, and you can buy empty spray bottles again in any department store. Dollar stores have them. You might have one kicking around your house that's empty from cleaners or what have you. So fill a spray bottle with water, take that sponge mop, and then you're going to need a vacuum, but if you have carpets, you already have a vacuum, I'm sure. So what you want to do is vacuum the carpet first, and you'll get all that loose stuff and all the debris and the dirt that's loose on the top of the carpet. So you get that out. So you go ahead and vacuum first, do a nice good vacuuming, very thorough, and then you want to spray the mop head with a very light mist of water. You don't want to saturate the sponge, you just want a light spray, and what that does is help to make the hair stick to the sponge. So then you want to mop your carpet, essentially. I know that sounds silly, but you want to just run the mop over the carpet, and excuse me, and the hair is going to stick to the mop. And then usually what I do is just pull it off by hand, which I know it's kind of gross, but use some dishwashing gloves and just kind of rub the hair off of the sponge and go again until it's not removing any more hair. Again, that works really well for these kind of area rugs. It also works for the low pile carpeting. The other thing that you can do if you have a little bit thicker, more plush carpeting, there's our shed machine. That was Sadie, sorry about that. So anyway, if you have thicker, more plush carpeting, another thing that you can do is use liquid fabric softener. Sadie, what are you doing? Yeah. Sorry, she's trying to get into things that are not hers. Yeah, and you're all wet. No, you're all wet. Go on. Yeah, climb in the chair when she's not wet. Being a pet owner is just loads of fun all the time. This is why I am an expert on dog cleaning and cleaning up after dogs. Okay, so back to the thicker, more plush carpeting. You can use liquid fabric softener to help attract the hair, and you want to do liquid fabric softener and water mixture, and you mix it like 1 part liquid fabric softener to 3 parts water, again in a spray bottle. You can get those anywhere. And then what you want to do is spray that on the carpet very, very lightly. If you spray a lot of it and you saturate the carpet, it's going to take forever for your carpet to dry. So you want to spray just a very light mist over the entire carpet, and then let that dry completely. When it's completely dry, vacuum it. And the fabric softener kind of helps to release the hair that's stuck in there, and allows it to vacuum up easier. So that's, you know, a tip if you have some thicker, more plush carpet. The other thing, and people think this is crazy, but when we had carpeting, this is the one that I swore by, a squeegee. You can pick them up like a squeegee like you clean your car windows with, or the guy at the gas station cleans your car windows with. You can pick those up at any like automotive store, in the automotive section of like Walmart's and Target's usually have them, department stores. So it just regular, don't get one of the, well, you can get one of the big long ones I guess, but it's easier to do the handheld, the little short handheld squeegees. They're usually like maybe 12 inches, 14 inches long. And the rubber part of the squeegee, when you rub it over the carpet, the hair will, the rubber picks it up and it sticks to the rubber, and then you can just wipe it off and go again. And what will happen is you'll end up kind of raking up these piles of dog hair. So you just squeegee start, it's easier for me because I have an area rug here, but start in one corner of the rug and just kind of meticulously work your way across, and then, you know, keep going. Just like when you're sweeping the floor and you have that pile of dirt and you keep pushing it across the floor, you're just going to keep pulling that hair. Eventually you'll get a pile. You can kind of clump it up. Make sure you're cleaning off the squeegee every once in a while, pulling it off. So it'll kind of clump up. You can just pull it up in piles and throw it in the garbage. They also make carpet rakes that you can order online. You probably can get them in some pet stores, but you don't see them often. They're easier to get online, and they're called carpet rakes or rubber brooms. And if you Google or look on Amazon for rubber brooms, you'll find those. And that's what they're for. They have little rubber bristles. They dig down, and it's essentially the same thing as a squeegee. It just has the separate bristles that kind of dig down and get, you know, way down in there to get all the dog hair up and out and pull it. And it does the same thing. It just pulls it all in a pile. You can pick it right up and throw it in the garbage. And then you just give your rug a quick vacuum after that, and you're good to go. If you don't want to buy anything extra, like a squeegee or a rubber broom, you can use rubber gloves. If you have rubber gloves around your house, the kind that you use for like dishwashing gloves is the ones that come to mind for me. I think you buy those for like $1 a pair at most anywhere, grocery stores or department stores. So you put on those rubber gloves and do the same thing with your hand. It's a lot more time consuming and it's more strenuous because it's harder on your hand and your arm than the rubber broom or the squeegee, but you can do that, and you don't have to buy anything extra. For me, the added expense, the rubber brooms and the squeegees aren't awfully expensive. They're very affordable. And if you have dogs and they're going to continue to shed, you may as well do it the easy way, in my opinion. But if you have rubber gloves kicking around and you just want to try that, you can do that and do the same thing. Just use your hand and do the same thing that you do with a squeegee or a broom. Just kind of pull all that hair, and eventually you'll get a pile of it. You can pick it up and throw it in the garbage. Grooming gloves, the other thing, speaking of rubber gloves, you know those grooming gloves that you can put on and they kind of have all those bristles so you can like pat your dog and brush him at the same time. Those work well if they've got rubber, if the part in the middle is rubber. That will work really well, and do the same thing. Just instead of patting your dog, pat your carpet, brush your carpet, and that hair will start coming up in piles. This is the Kong Zoom Groom, and I'm only showing you this one because this is the one that we have. But if you have any rubber, like de-shedding tool or grooming brush, as long as it has rubber bristles, you can use that too instead of buying like a rubber broom or anything. It's obviously smaller, so it's going to be a little more time consuming, but we already own this. So this is what I use to get the dog hair out of our throw rugs, and again, those are really a smaller area, but it works, and so that's what I use. If you have a large carpeted area, you might not want to take the time to do this, but I'll just show you really quick. You just kind of, obviously, you would start in one corner and work your way down, but Chloe decided she was going to lay here too, so And I don't know if you can see the little pile of dog hair that I'm collecting already, but that's all you do, and you kind of rake it all into a pile, or brush it all into a pile, I guess. And then you can either vacuum it up, or now I have this little tuft of hair that I can go ahead and throw in the trash. So that works very well for us, and that's usually what I use. I use the Zoom Groom to de-shed our chocolate lab, so I can use it also to clean our carpets. It works well on carpeting that's either low or high, so that's what I really like about using a brush like that with the rubber bristles, but a rubber broom would work the same way. So that's really all my tips for getting dog hair out of carpeting. But the one thing I also wanted to talk to you about really quickly is just the preventative measures that you can take to keep that dog hair in your home down. It's something that I didn't really think about when I first got dogs, but then as we got, of course, I started out with one dog and now we have 3, so the hair kind of progressively gets worse. And to be honest with you, it wasn't really until we got cats that it drove me crazy. Cats shed a lot more than dogs, I would say, or more than most dogs. So we got our cats and the hair around our house was just everywhere. So one of the things that I guess it's common sense, and I knew it all along, but I never really did anything about it until the hair started driving me crazy, was to brush your pets regularly, and that will take out so much hair from your home. It's unbelievable, and you won't believe it until you try it and see. But for example, we brush our chocolate lab Sadie every day because she sheds an enormous amount. Our boxer and our beagle mix don't shed as much as our lab, so we only brush them about 3 times a week. And actually we have kids and that's one of their chores, so I don't even have to do it myself. But yeah, so we brush them regularly, and the amount of hair that it takes off of them and that it saves from coming into our home is unbelievable. When you're brushing your dog, just remember that, you know, like with Sadie, our chocolate lab, we do 2 or 3 strokes down her back, and the brush is full of her hair, and I pull off a clump of her hair and throw it away. So every clump of hair that I can pull off her with the brush, or even every just single hair, if you have a dog that doesn't shed a lot, if you can just comb him quickly every day and you only get one little pile, one little handful of hair, that's one little handful of hair that's not going to be spread around your house, on your floors, your carpets, your furniture, your clothing, everywhere. So it's a huge benefit to brush your dog every day, and that's definitely the top preventative measure. And then of course, just regular vacuuming. I know it's hard to find the time to vacuum every day, especially if you have a larger home and there's, you know, it takes you half an hour, 45 minutes to vacuum the entire house. I know it takes a while. So if you can't vacuum every day, that's totally understandable, but the more frequently you can vacuum, the better it will be. That hair kind of sits on the top of the carpet at first, and then as people walk on it, and your pets walk all over it, it kind of squishes it down into the carpet. So if you can vacuum daily when that hair is more closer to the top of the carpet, you know, it's going to be more likely to kind of suck that out. So that's something to keep in mind. Vacuum as often as possible, and then of course just brush your dog. If you can do it daily, that's awesome. If your dog's not an excessive shedder, or you know, you just don't have the time, you can do it every 2 days, every 3 days. Anything's better than nothing. Every bit of hair that you brush off your pet is less hair that you're going to have to clean out of your carpet. So that's always advice that I give to people about preventative measures as far as shedding goes. So that is everything, I think, my how-to video for how to get dog hair out of your carpets. If you have any questions for me about this topic or any other dog-related topics, feel free to ask those anytime. You can find my contact information on our website, which is topdogtips.com. You can also find us on social media. You might be watching this on our YouTube channel right now. We're also on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, and Instagram. So follow us there, and you'll stay up to date on all the latest information, all my videos that I'm posting, and all the great dog-related articles that we post all the time. We have some product reviews, and I post recipes and share things like that. So tons of great stuff. There's always new content coming out, and if you subscribe to one of our channels or subscribe to our newsletter through our website, subscribe to our YouTube channel, things like that, you will get all that information as soon as it's available. So I look forward to hearing from you guys if you have any questions, and I will see you back next time. Thanks, guys.